Hi, I'm Mitch Gallagher. Welcome to Sweetwater's Guitars and Gear. We have a special guest joining us today. Joe Walsh is here. Joe, thanks for coming in, man. We appreciate you being here.
You're very welcome.
You were doing a concert here last night in Fort Wayne. Part of the tour. Tour's going through September, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So I was interested in reading a few things. You had said one of the things that you're enjoying on this tour is that you're reaching these transcendent moments where you can just kind of zone out and play guitar. What's involved in getting to that point? Do you have to have a certain gear, a certain sound quality? What takes you to that place?
You got to have the right band.
Yeah?
Most bands that I'm hearing, everything is pre-planned. A lot of it's on a computer. You just come out and kind of automatically play the song. The song plays itself.
Right.
You know, and you do your part on it. The Eagles were real good at, everyone had a specific assignment. You had a guitar part and a vocal part that needed to be there right when it was needed. And if we all showed up, it turned into something bigger than any of us individually. And that's great. And the Eagles were probably one of the best at that. So I know how to do that. But there's another way, and that is to surround yourself with players who are on the same wavelength as you. And that's what I've done with this tour. These guys have known me for a long time. I've played with them all. Some of them played on the records. And you have to trust them. Basically, at rehearsal, I showed them what not to do, because that's as important as showing them what to do. So I showed them what not to do, what doesn't work, and I gave everybody the freedom to create their own part.
Right.
And improvise. So I wouldn't call it a jam band, and it's definitely the song. You recognize it, but there's a lot of leeway, especially in the middle, to make it different every night. And I wanted to explore where that goes. And it's a painful birth, but when it starts clicking, and it is, it's really clicking now. It's amazing music.
Right.
And there's not a lot of bands that are doing that right now. And I think the audiences are really reacting to it, because we just grab them and give them a good shaking.
Right.
And then go on to the next song.
Right.
And for now, after all these years, that's really working for me, because I get a chance to just play. And your environment has to be right for you to get in the zone, so that you can just get your mind out of the way and watch your hand along with everybody else.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And I've got a great environment, and I'm playing accordingly. I'm playing stuff that I never would play any other way. The whole band is.
Right.
So, a long-winded answer, but there you go.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome. So I'm curious, when you say you told the players what not to play, were you talking about chords? Were you talking about throwing licks in? What kind of things were you telling them not to do?
Well, one thing is the whole band can't play the same thing.
So everybody's got to kind of come up with their own take on what's happening?
Yeah. The drummers have to get a freight train going. And I have 2 drummers. And they got to stay off the cymbals, and they got to put it in the pocket, and they can never budge from that. If they start doing 16th note fills, both of them, it turns into a train wreck.
Sure.
If they start syncopating, the whole vehicle falls apart. You know? If they start doing all the kicks and everything with the bass drum, there's no... And that's the foundation for the whole thing. Trying to get everybody to play less is the secret. There's a tendency on the road, after 30 shows or so, there's a tendency to kind of memorize your part and play that. And that's not what I want.
Right.
That tendency is, you know, it's inevitable, you know. But what I want is those first 10 shows mentality, when nobody had a clue what they were going to play. They didn't have a clue what they were supposed to play.
Right. So it's spontaneous.
Yeah, and you got to keep that. And so I have to get on to everybody.
Right.
You know, it's like, you know that fill you play in this section? I love that fill. Don't play it anymore. Play something else. Play something else.
Right.
Yeah. Play anything you want. You know, just make sure I like it.
Right.
Basically.
That's easy, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's easy to get into automatic pilot. It's a hazard of the occupation, especially after a 10-hour bus ride, you know. So, I just don't want everybody to learn the songs so good that the concept of playing it different every night, depending on what the other guys in the band are playing.
Right.
I don't want that concept to go away.
Right. Right.
So that's what not to do.
Awesome. That's awesome. So when I have a great artist like yourself on a very high level come in, and you've interacted with so many other great artists in the world and played with them, been on albums with them, I always like to ask, what is it that makes a great musician?
Knowing what not to do, you know? Being able to function if there's a lot of things not right, you know?
Sure.
Remembering how to set your own equipment up before you could afford to have somebody else do it.
Right.
When your amp blows up, knowing what happened. I really firmly believe all that, you know?
Right. So you have to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Right, right.
Yeah. And it's just having stuff happen to you. Can I say having a lot of happen to you over the years and still playing a really good show. And that's technical stuff. You got to know how to play sick.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Got to know how to play sick. You may feel terrible, but so what?
Right. Right. The show goes on, right?
Yeah. Go play.
Right.
Yeah. All of that, and not letting your emotions own you.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay to be mad. No, it's okay to feel mad, but it's not okay to be mad.
Mm-hmm.
So that you turn into somebody else,
Right.
you know?
Sure.
You can't let your emotions own you. They're just feelings. They have nothing to do with anything, really.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's entitled to their own emotions, but you're not entitled to mine. And I don't want to know about yours.
Sure.
Yeah. All of that is stuff that's important to be a really good musician.
Mm-hmm. Right, right. Interesting that you didn't mention a lot of musical things there. There are a lot of other things there as well.
Well, you
That's all
should
good
know
stuff.
what everybody else is playing
Mhm.
at all times. And play accordingly.
Sure. Right, right. That's all part of it.
Yeah.
Right, right. So I would be remiss if I did not ask you about your signature pedal from Analog Aliens, the Joe Walsh Double Classic. Can you tell us a little bit about that pedal?
Well, the brothers are mad scientists, basically. And I found that I can communicate with them by describing stuff as a musician would describe it. And they can translate that into components and the technical end of it. That's hard.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to find somebody who knows what you mean when you say, I want it to sound more green,
Right.
you know?
Sure.
But they're real good at that. When I plug a bunch of pedals in, usually there's a limiter, and usually when you get a string of pedals, what comes out of the last pedal is not what went into the first pedal.
Right.
And so I wanted a pedal where I can, it's kind of like a buffer, but I wanted to be able to globally affect the EQ. That goes on to the amp. That's kind of a recovery mode preamp. Clean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I need a really good limiter. And those two things, a compressor, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
So I told them, why can't I just have one pedal that does all that? Because usually when I get the limiter set, I have to change the EQ a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I want to put the level I'm going into the limiter with up or down. And sometimes I want to change the level coming out. So all of that's in one pedal. I have a really good preamp. It's not really a preamp, it's like an online, inline, fine-tune
Mm-hmm.
stack.
Right. Really allows you to shape the tone right there
Yeah.
from the pedal.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
That the limiter sees and processes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they put it together really well. And bass players really like it too. Bass players really like it.
Right. Yeah, I could see that, having the compressor and the tone shaping right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, good deal.
So I took the pedal to Chicago. Eddie Vedder and Roger Daltrey were doing a benefit for a children's hospital. And Townsend was there, and Pino, the bass player.
Mm-hmm.
and they heard my pedal and they all got them.
Nice.
You know, when I got one immediately.
Nice.
And he's using it. And I didn't even try and sell it to him.
Well, the proof is hearing you play it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
So I believe in those guys, and I hope to build some more pedals with them. Takes a long time
I bet.
to get it right, but I'm proud of it, and it works pretty good.
Absolutely. Because you have a technical background, ham radio and electronics background, were you able to go in and give them specifics about what you wanted there, or did you give them pretty broad strokes as far as designing the pedal?
Well, I know about design and stuff. They're real good at knowing transistors, FETs, all the old stuff they used to use.
Right.
Knowing all of that in terms of tone, that's really good information.
Right.
And what op amps, what op amps sound like, and like that. I don't know about that. That's a whole science in itself.
Sure. It's an art and a science.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to have the ears to really know what those things are doing to the tone as you're putting the whole circuit
Yeah.
together.
And I don't know how they do that. They're crazy. Those guys are nuts.
Right.
Good nuts.
Right, absolutely. That's a great sounding pedal.
So there you go.
Very good. Thanks for stopping by. We appreciate you spending some time with us this afternoon.
Sure.
And enjoy the rest of the tour. Glad to have you here at Sweetwater.
Thank you.
I'm Mitch Gallagher. Thanks for joining me for Sweetwater's Guitars and Gear.